Hey, Perry Peacock here with Wilderness Innovation. I'm camping again, just like every week. But we're in the towards the end of March here, and even at this low altitude here in the mountains near my home, there's still, as you can see behind me, there's still a good bit of snow in certain places here. Nevertheless, I mean, one of the things you run into in this kind of weather, people are getting out, starting to camp for the spring and that sort of thing if they haven't been doing it all year like me. But so they get out here and then the sun goes down and all of a sudden the temperature just falls like crazy because there's all this land up here, all this surface area in the mountains that's covered with snow still. So once that sun goes down, that air starts flowing and you get some nice chilly air coming off from up above. So, if you ever get stranded in a spot or whatever, I'm going to show you a little something that you can do that'll help you to weather some cold conditions, even if you don't have everything that you need to have with you. Well, I found this old cottonwood tree here that's been laying for, I don't know, a number of years it looks like. And this thing's about 3 feet in diameter or so. Pretty good size tree. We can utilize this tree to help keep a person warm in the night or whatever, whenever they need to keep warm. So this tree right here, because it's big, it's bulky, it's got a lot of mass. This piece right here probably weighs a ton or more. I don't know. It's quite a bit, a lot of wood in there. Well, what I can do is I can come off of here about a good three or 4 feet out or so. Probably 4 feet out because it's not that cold up here. It's going to be in the 20s tonight, but I come out like that and I can build me a fire out here, a parallel log fire like you might have seen me do when I did the thermal mass log lean-to. And we do the same thing out here. And what we're going to do is we're going to let that fire heat this log. So we want to put as much thermal energy into this log as we can. And then what I'd do here is I'd probably chink it a little bit with some of the gravel and soil and bark that's around here on this side and the other side, so you don't get a draft coming under there. And once this thing gets nice and warm, I might even build the fire closer to the log initially and then move it out when I go down to lay down and take a rest. And so what's going to happen there is the log will be hot. It takes several hours of burning a fire in front of here to really warm that thing up good, but if we get it warmed up good, get our fire out here, then the log will be warm on the back side and the fire will be hot on the front side. We will have screened off any airflow here, so now you can get in here and you have a little mini environment that'll be considerably warmer than trying to sleep out in the open somewhere or even out somewhere around the fire. This would be much warmer to sleep like this than try to sleep by an open fire, because we're going to have it much warmer in this area here than it would be. All right, well, I got this kind of cleared up, smoothed out a little bit, some of the debris out of there where I'll be laying. I started my parallel log fire. I'm about 5 feet long with it right now, so not doing too badly with that. And I can already feel over here on the log, I can already feel the outer bark there starting to warm up pretty good. So anyway, with the bark already warming up, that's a good sign. Now technically, if I wanted to be more efficient at this, I would probably work at trying to knock that bark off of there so I get down to the bare wood, because then I would get into that more dense thermal mass of the log itself a little bit better. But I'm not really going to worry about that right now because I'm going to be plenty warm. I got probably a little bit of snow going to fall tonight, maybe an inch or something, but I'll be pretty good right here. Right now I couldn't possibly sleep back in here. It's way too hot. So I'm gonna have to move the fire back a bit before I really do anything. Before I go to bed, I like to stack up a lot of wood all ready to go usually near where my head is. Get a big stack so as the fire goes down in the night, if I feel it's cooling down a little bit, I just reach above my head, throw down some wood. Sometimes I'll stack it up above me like that or whatever. And I just kind of feed as I need to during the night. So anyway, this is going to make a very, very nice situation here. Well, I've been away from the fire for a little while here, shooting some video and some other stuff. And one thing nice about this fire, it doesn't need a lot of attention. You don't have to baby it a lot or anything like that. It'll burn pretty good just by itself. Just kind of keep her going. Reposition a few logs here and throw some stuff in there. Yeah, this log's warming up pretty nice. It's getting pretty warm. It's not too hot to touch yet, but the time I go to bed, I'd like it to be where it's almost too hot to touch. And that way it should last pretty good for me through the night. Well, here I am this morning. I had a little different night than I planned. You know, I'd figured last night I laid this thing out and I was gonna, I had planned to sleep between the fire and the log, you know, last night. And I did. But during the night it started snowing. It snowed about an inch, and then it turned off, started raining a little bit, and then it turned back into snow, and then snow pellets, and then rain, and then snow, and whatever. It ended up with snow. I made me a quick little shelter here, and I could have used some wood or something, but it was about 2 o'clock in the morning, and so what I did is I put my 2 camp chairs up with the seat backs faced in, got some sticks and put across this way, and then I put a bunch of stuff this other way through my PSTL, my large multicam tarp, over the top of that, threw some branches and some bark on top of that to hold it down in the breeze. And I got in here, and oh my gosh, that really made the night. That's much, much better doing this right here. That was so cozy and comfortable. And I piled up wood at the head of my head and down at my foot. Piled it all the way up to the top. And that helped even block some wind from the sides. And then whenever I needed to add wood, all I had to do is just grab some right there and throw it on the fire. It didn't take that much to keep me warm in here, because that's reflecting right into here, and the heat can't escape up out of here quite as easy, so it helps kind of hold that in. Really makes it very comfortable. And this thing just turned out beautifully for me last night. And you know, just an improvised shelter, you know, you just do what you can. I got my pillow right here I'm drying out, but my blanket back here in places had snow on it this deep, my survival blanket, and but I mean, it's still warm. My blanket, I mean, during all that, before I put this up, my blanket got wet, and my pillow was wet. I mean, everything was wet. But I was still warm, even though I felt wet because, you know, all that stuff going on. But once I put the canopy up over here with that tarp, and had the fire going, everything, because everything is easily dries, everything is just pretty much dried out already. So, you know, I'm in good shape. I'm about ready here to get me some breakfast, but kind of redid my shelter just a tad. I took the chairs that I was using last night out and put these uprights in. And these are just some forked maple, dead piece of maple. And so that just goes right up there, and the piece is going across here, just wedge right down into that fork. So the nice thing is it's pretty sturdy without any cordage at all. Just everything's kind of wedged together, and the weight of everything's kind of holding it in place. The roof structure here is just, you know, these pieces this way, and then some going this way. And then after that, I just threw some branches on that are kind of every which way. Then I threw the tarp on top of that. The little branches and all that are to help keep from rain and stuff from keeping it to sag, because we're about horizontal on our roof. So I just put a bunch of that stuff in there so it supports the tarp. Threw the tarp over, then I threw some more branches and stuff on top to hold the tarp down in the wind. We're good to go. Now that I got that chair out of here, I can get in and out of here a little bit easier. I got a little more room. So anyway, time for breakfast now. Got my 7-grain hot granola cereal. And I guess I should have showed you, I put it in a little Ziploc baggie, and I put my salt and sugar, everything that I normally like in it. I've measured it out. I put it all in there with the mix. Then I just heat some water on the fire, dump it in there, and I got everything I need. And I'm using one of the sprongs. I'm using the spoon side of it. If you haven't seen those, we got those on the website. So it's a fork, a spoon, and you clip them together right here at the top and turn into tongs. So it's kind of nice. I like the multi-function gear, so that does it for me. It's a nice morning out here. Got about a 1.5 inches or so of snow left from last night. Well, especially now that I raised the front of this up just a little bit. Well, I raised it up about a foot. Now I'm getting that morning sun coming in here, and just with that and just a little trace of a fire, I'm about too warm. Nice little deal. I should have just done this from the beginning last night. I would have had a little better sleep at 1 o'clock in the morning. So let me show you my setup here. So this is my personal survival blanket right here, and I've just thrown that straight out down on the ground. No, nothing underneath it. And this is the towel. So I just fold it in half, strung it out here, good to go. So I used that initially as just something to lay on, and then when it started raining and snowing a little bit, then I got inside of it, and I stayed like that until I put the canopy on. Also using the campfire cooking sticks, which I'll show you in a second. This is my survival pillow. It's a multi-function pillow that I've been playing with for about a year. So that's my campfire cooking sticks right here. And nice thing about them, I had my warming fire here. That's right there. I just threw up a couple rocks right there. Fan the sticks out in a V shape. Throw them on there. I can show you. That works really nice. Gives a nice platform to cook on, that sort of thing, without any trouble. Alright, so let me show you the rest of the shelter here. So I just got my upright pole here. with a V. It's got a fork in it, and I just put my cross support, laid it into there, and it actually just kind of wedges down in there, so it's pretty sturdy without any cordage at all. And on the other side, I got same thing going on right here. Got my hat drying, but then you can see underneath there, all I've got is I've got quite a just crisscrossing of a bunch of branches and sticks and everything. That's what supports the roof. And then I just threw more branches on top to hold it down the wind. Threw some bark down on the threw some cottonwood bark down on the back there to hold all that in. And so that works really nice. Held everything together even in the gusty wind. So anyway, this is Perry Peacock with Wilderness Innovation. Had a great night last night, and a little bit of time yesterday afternoon up here, and even got snowed on, kind of unexpectedly, but hey, it was all right. Everything turned out good. And then here's so now I showed you a little shelter. Another thing you can do with a tarp, either any of the sizes, but I used the PSTL on this one, 10 by 10. That worked just perfect. Very nice. Kept everything out. Did a really nice job for me. So I hope you enjoy your time out. Take care. Get out as often as you can. Enjoy it out here. It's beautiful. Have a great day.